Hi everyone, my name is Krishna, and before I start answering this question, I just want to go over what cultural competence is. Cultural competence is described as the ability to help students grow in the understanding of their own culture, while acquiring skills in one other culture. For someone who self-identifies in the Asian cultural group, cultural competence is very important to me. If my teachers had embraced my language and used it to teach American Edited English, other known as Standard English, then I would be more comfortable with my student language. To have cultural competence allows for my student language and my American Edited English language to be both seen as a form of language that is respected. When teachers teach about student language and then they use the term translating language, rather than correcting my student language to teach me Standard English, then I feel that my culture is shown and respected. It makes me feel like I don't need to change who I am, just need to add another part of myself and become bilingual. Maintaining cultural competence helps diverse students feel seen, heard, and respected. More teachers need to use the cultural competence aspect of cultural relevant pedagogy because it provides a helpful framework for what to do with our knowledge about students' cultural and community, and see the students' cultural and community aspects as assets. From fieldwork and my personal experience in education, I have experienced teachers using students' funds of knowledge, but not very often. Funds of knowledge is similar to CRP as it has to do with the knowledge that is based and generated by families on the basis of their experiences, their social practices, and their social history. Both during my fieldwork and in my personal experiences, I have seen teachers use the funds of knowledge strategy that includes getting to know the families. They do this through teacher conferences or through phone calls. Either way, the teacher tries to get to know the family, which allows them to become the learners of the students and the family's day-to-day lifestyle, which is very important. But unfortunately, in my experience, only parents who came to board meetings or volunteering meetings had the opportunity to be known by the teachers and the staff within the school. As a child, my parents did not volunteer and we weren't active citizens in my town. We were just trying to get by with what we had, and we didn't have much time to think about participating in our town. Unfortunately, the only way to be seen by the teachers using these funds of knowledge methods were through these volunteer meetings and board meetings that I did not attend. I see this as a big gap in the system, and I think it needs to change. If I were to talk to my past teachers, I would tell them a lot about how they handled the cultural diversity that was present in my classroom as a child, and I would advise them to use the CRP method in their classroom on a daily basis. As a student, I remember not feeling seen or heard by many of my teachers. When I went to school, I felt like I was turning on a different part of myself. Like when I was home, I was myself, and when I had school, I had to pretend to be someone in order to fit in. I wish I had my own teachers who used the cultural relevant pedagogy methods and supported me, because I was in need of a teacher who wanted to create a quality education for all of her students. Academic achievement and student learning involves challenging students' minds so that they can prove their ability to think. My teachers did not do this. If my teachers could have integrated basic skills and knowledge into their lessons, I guarantee you that they could have made a bigger impact and a meaningful impact on everyone who was learning from them. Along with this, if teachers embraced student language and used it to teach American Edited English, then maybe more students would feel comfortable speaking how they speak at home in other parts of the world. And if teachers called this translating language rather than correcting language, they would feel like their home language is still an okay language to be using. Lastly, if my teachers were to use a social political consciousness, then many students like myself could understand what they were learning and why it was important to their lives in that moment. Students could be using their language arts, math, social studies, and science information that they learned in class, and they could apply it to a larger social purpose beyond the classroom, which is something that I think my teachers should aim for. And it's something that I would aim for as a future educator.